And today I'm going to share with you 17 misconceptions people have when it comes to going to get their visa. So the first point that I have is show proof of funds even with full funding. No need to go with a bank statement if you have a zero deficit. So people think, oh, because you have a fully funded scholarship, there is no need for you to go to the embassy with a bank statement. I would say that is actually false, because although I was fully funded, I still had a bank statement as a backup, especially if there was going to be a question about who is going to pay for my trip. You can take note of that. The second point is full funding guarantees visa approval. That is also a misconception. That is not true. Full funding does not really guarantee that you're going to get your visa approved. I've had experiences where people went with fully funded scholarship, yet because they lack confidence, because they couldn't show reason and purpose for their study, they got denied. 3, zero funding means your visa won't be granted. That is also false. The fact that you didn't get fully funded scholarship actually doesn't mean you're not going to get your visa approved. I have friends who are in the state. A recent one that I recall is a friend that I helped. He's currently in George Washington University. He came with a deficit of $52,000, yet he got his visa approved. So it doesn't really matter. You can go to the embassy with zero funds and still get your visa approved. It's all about showing proof of funds. It's all about showing purpose of study and proving home ties, and you're good. Number 4, having a lot of money in your bank account will guarantee your visa approval. That is also a misconception. The fact that you have a lot of money in your bank account, or like you going with a bank statement that has like a lot of money, does not mean your visa is going to be approved. It is required that at least when you are going for your visa and you have a deficit of like 20,000, you can go with like 40,000, you can go with like 50,000, 60,000 bank statement. But sometimes people think, oh, let me go with 100,000, let me go with $200,000, and because they see a lot of money in my account. No, that is not the case. 5th point, show your documents even if you are not asked for it. That's also a misconception. People have this idea and notion that, oh, if you go for your visa interview and you are not even asked for any document, like show them that you have your bank statement, show them that you went to this particular school to get your degree. No, if you do that, they're going to see that you are desperate to travel. They're going to see that you have maybe some other ulterior motives that might not really help in you getting your visa approved. So that is also a misconception that people have. If you've not actually been asked for any document at the embassy, don't show anything to the consular. The 6th point, if your immediate family member are not your sponsors, you will not get approved. We have that notion too. People believe that if you are going for your visa interview and your parents are not your immediate sponsors, or maybe your sister, your brother is not like the immediate sponsor, it means your visa is going to get denied. That is also false. I know people that have gone with their uncles, their aunties, and they still get their visas approved. So if you're in that state and you're going for your visa, don't be perturbed. Just go for it. Just make sure you have the confidence and just prove to them that you deserve for your visa to be approved. 7th point is if you travel to a different country for your visa, you won't be approved. I actually don't like the whole idea of traveling to another country to get your visa. I advise people to go for their visas in their home countries, but the fact that you leave Ghana to go to South Africa or Zimbabwe, and just for you moving to a different state, like people have the idea that your visa is not going to be approved, it's also a lie. That is not the case. People leave Ghana to South Africa, to Zimbabwe, to Cote d'Ivoire, and they get their visas approved. The 8th point, if your school is not an Ivy League school, you won't be approved. That is also false. The fact that you didn't get into Harvard, the fact that you didn't get into Cambridge or whatever, like mention them, the Ivy League schools, the fact that you didn't get into them, it doesn't really mean that your visa is going to be disapproved. I'm in Colorado Boulder and my school is not an Ivy League school, but at the end of the day, I still got my visa approved, so you should get rid of that. The 9th point, using agents guarantee visa approval. That is a lie. I advise people that, you can apply to the schools. But if you're going to use an agent just for the fact that they are going to help you get your visa approved, it's a lie. On the actual day, the visa agents are not going to be there. Like, the agents are not going to be there. The agents that helped you in your school application, they are not going to be there. So it's all up to you. The 10th point, having families in the US is not a good sign. People think that the fact that you have families in the US is not good because the visa officers, the consulates are going to think that you are not going to come back to your home country. That is also false. 11th point, visa officers are grumpiest in the morning. People think, oh, visa officers in the morning, they are not happy, things are going on and they are not going to get your visa approved. That is also a lie. The 12th point, documents are everything. Documents are not everything. It's about proving home ties, showing proof of funds. It's about showing them that, this is why you're going for the particular program. 13th point, there is a visa quota. People think, this year they want just 100 people. Once the visa officers get 100 people, that is all. And I'm not going to get my visa approved even if I have a fully funded scholarship. That is a lie. 14th point, give short answers. The more you explain, more your visa will be denied. People think, you don't have to talk a lot. You don't have to talk plenty. You have to give short answers because short answers will require you getting your visa approved. It's a lie. Just monitor the flow. If the visa officer wants short answers, you give them. If they want long answers, you give them long answers. 15th point, better to lie than to say the truth about something negative in your case. I wouldn't advise that. That is also a misconception. Just make sure you have your story right. Make sure you are selling yourself. Make sure you are telling your story right. The last but one point, VOs make decisions based on appearance. How you dress does not show that you're going to get your visa approved. People go with their uniform, people go with their military attire, and they feel they're going to get approved just because they went with their military or their nurses or their but that doesn't mean you shouldn't dress right. You should dress appropriate as well, but it doesn't guarantee anything. 17, the last point, previous visa denials does guarantee future denials. People have this misconception that, because your visa has been denied before, you going for your visa the second time, you're not going to get it. That is also a lie. Thank you very much.